Road to Nowhere, Talking Heads. Have a lovely Sunday. This is Radio 2 on the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 9 o'clock on Sunday the 23rd of April. Good morning, this is Harvey Cook. The government will test its emergency alert system today, sending a loud sound to every phone in the UK. Ministers are understood to be working on plans to evacuate British embassy staff from Sudan as fighting continues in the country. And thousands of runners are limbering up for this year's London Marathon. People are being reminded that they don't need to take action when an alarm sounds on their smartphone at 3 o'clock this afternoon. The government is sending alerts to phones across the UK to test an emergency alert system which could be used in future to warn the public about life-threatening situations, including fires or flooding. Domestic violence charities have warned that the alarm could potentially alert abusers to the location of a hidden phone. Ellie Butt from Refuge says those who are vulnerable can opt out in their phone's settings menu.
1 in 4 women will experience domestic abuse in her lifetime. 7% of women in England and Wales experienced domestic abuse in the last year. So it's safe to assume that there are a significant number of people that need to know that their safety might be at risk from these alerts, and they can opt out and turn them off.
BBC News understands that the government is working on plans to move British embassy staff out of Sudan. More than 400 people have died since fighting broke out between rival armed groups in the country just over a week ago. President Biden confirmed overnight that American diplomats and their families had been evacuated from the capital, Khartoum. Our reporter Calcutta Yibeltal is following developments.
While these diplomats are first being evacuated, many civilian nationals of foreign countries are still trapped in Sudan, in Khartoum, and countries are advising them to be safe, to shelter, not to risk themselves by trying to travel on road to Port Sudan.
A Conservative peer leading a review of how the civil service operates has said the culture in Whitehall needs to be more robust after the Deputy Prime Minister Dominic Raab resigned. He stood down on Friday when an inquiry examining bullying claims against him found he treated officials in an intimidating and aggressive way. Lord Maud told The Observer that in future ministers could have a bigger say on the appointment of civil servants so they can push through their agendas more easily. The Observer's chief leader writer, Sonia Soda, worries about making the service too political.
I'm not saying that there isn't a legitimate question perhaps about we've already got some political appointees in the civil service, they're called special advisors. Maybe that should be expanded. I don't know. We should have a proper look at that, but it should not be from the place of friends trying to exonerate a minister who's just been found to have bullied people in the workplace.
The King and Queen Consort will be honoured in a special service in Edinburgh later this year, after the coronation next month. The Scottish Government says the King will be presented with the Honours of Scotland at the service of dedication and thanksgiving at St Giles's Cathedral. The First Minister, Humza Yousaf, is a Republican, has also confirmed he'll travel to London to attend the coronation. Prince William has sent his congratulations to Wrexham, who've won promotion back to the Football League after a 15-year absence. The club's co-owners, the American actors Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, were watching as the Welsh side beat Boreham Wood 3-1. The Prince of Wales, who's president of the FA, said he was looking forward to a very exciting future. These fans outside the stadium were delighted.
Fantastic! This is amazing!
Oh, absolutely wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. I didn't sleep much last night. It's been very nervous leading up to the game, but we did it, didn't we? We did it.
I feel amazing. Amazing. I can't believe they won the league.
Last-minute preparations are underway for the London Marathon, which begins shortly. The multiple Olympic champion Mo Farah is running the distance for the final time before retirement, while David Weir, who's won the wheelchair event 8 times, is in action again. Thousands of members of the public will also be taking part, raising millions of pounds for good causes. Sam Hammond is a Royal Marine Commando who's doing his first ever marathon with a 26-kilo fridge strapped to his back.
I thought, no half measures, straight in with a fridge. A lot of arduous training, in the mountains, etc. Usually people give me a bit of a wide berth, but anytime there's a turn, I've got to check my flanks, make sure no one's there, so I'm not going to swipe them out.
The Irish President, Michael D. Higgins, has spoken of his sadness at the death of his Bernese mountain dog. Broad, whose name means pride, regularly met world leaders and was described as probably one of the most photographed dogs in Ireland, often appearing on social media. The President said Broad was a very much loved companion who would be greatly missed. And the weather, it'll be an unsettled day with variable clouds, showers and spells of rain. Colder and windy in the far north of Scotland. Temperatures reaching 15 Celsius in London, 12 in Belfast, 11 in Cardiff and 9 in Edinburgh. And that's the BBC News at 9:05.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning. There you are. Stand by for love songs. Now, if I press this, we can go. There you go.
Listen live on the BBC Sounds app.
I gotcha.